Mandalorian Episode 5, or Chapter 6, sorry. Okay. Whoa. Alright, so I watched Mandalorian Chapter 6. It is on Disney+. This is the director of Dope again. We all have returning directors for the rest. Deborah Chow and Taika Waititi is doing the last one. I should mention as well the next Mandalorian comes out on a Wednesday, not on a Friday. I'm assuming not to kind of get swallowed up by Rise of the Skywalker or compete with it. Anyway, so Chapter 6 of The Mandalorian. What I really like about this show is it's basically a Western show from the 70s, but with Star Wars characters, and I like how nostalgic it is for that time, but like in a sort of natural way. It does kind of feel like simplistically like these cool adventures, but this is an odd one because it felt very cinematic, but also felt like very much a TV episode. Like he meets up with these mercenaries, you have these kind of cool people of the week and everything like that, and the Mandalorian's going to be awesome and find an awesome way to get out of it. But it was still really good and compelling, and it was fun. And seeing like Bill Burr in that, I was fine with the girl, but she was a little weird. Seeing like kind of characters who look like they're from the 1977 film, seeing everything like that, I thought was really cool. And seeing them going on this mission that was pretty much doomed from the start, felt like an old Western show. It felt like an old samurai show. It felt like a mission show from the 70s, and that vibe was very much a part of it. This probably felt more like a TV episode than any of the other. I mean, they're all TV episodes, but like felt more influenced by TV episodes than the other ones had. They felt more like influenced by movies, and it feels like specifically the last one and this one, which by the way, this one and the last two were not written by Jon Favreau, so maybe that's the difference. Is Favreau wrote these like separately and like didn't know if they were gonna actually be made and kind of had a lot of fun with it, and then these last two were not written by him and clearly were written as like, hey, we need 2 TV episodes. So I'm curious if that really changed the flow of it. At the end, there's 3 X-Wing fighters, and they're played by the 3 directors. Dave Filoni's there, Deborah Chow, and the director of this, who directed Dope. Which I thought was kind of fun. I like this episode. It is a fun, isolated, kind of good episode of TV, and it continues to be like a fun Western show. I think that's probably what works about it. There's almost not too much you want to say about this episode that I haven't said before, other than I thought that this episode worked best as an episode of TV, and I thought remarkably well. It's kind of almost like such a procedural show at some points. It does it in a way where you kind of like take it for granted, but I also have to say there's a lot of genius going on there. It's slowly becoming I kind of almost wanted someone to make like the best pieces of content, of Star Wars content that have been made since Disney bought Star Wars. And I don't know if this would be at the very top, but it would definitely be like top 5 or top 3 for me. And it's because it like gets Star Wars so well, but it gets all the influences so well. And I thought like the only thing when I saw Last Jedi do that, I'm like, oh, you understand the influences of Star Wars, which I really like, the Kurosawa and the Western stuff. And Mandalorian does it on such a perfect level. It feels like it's just a part of that tradition, which I quite like. But I thought it was interesting, like going on the ship, going on this mission that has no end to it, having not a ton of Baby Yoda. This is much more of a Mandalorian episode or a Mando episode than a Baby Yoda episode. But I thought like them going through the ship and finding their way out of it and going on this mission, and having Richard Ayoade in here from the IT crowd. Which I thought was pretty cool. I liked him in it. I didn't recognize him at first, but I was like, where do I know him from? I couldn't place it, and then I was like, oh, that's who it was. I thought it had a cool group of characters. It was a very colorful, awesome episode of television, and I thought they did a great job with it. I continue to be just impressed and amazed by this like awesome, very fine Western show. And it's kind of funny because I think if you made a cowboy show like this, people would be like, whatever. And, but since they made a Star Wars show like a Western show, everyone was happy about it. So I think that's probably telling about 2019. But it's so excellent at it, I sort of don't mind. I don't mind that it's appealing to my nostalgia so perfectly, because I'm just so happy with it, and I continue to be happy and excited to watch it. And as much as I'm like, oh, I gotta watch a Mandalorian because I want to talk about it on the stream, and I don't want people to reference it, and then I watch it, and each one I'm like, oh my god, that was amazing, that was so cool, this is awesome, I love it. And I'm just like always so happy with this show. It's like, I know it's like no one's talking about shit from Disney Plus but this show is like good enough to pay for Disney Plus for me. I know I'm glowing over this show, but I think I just, and I like this episode with each is like these isolated tales, but this one works so well and was like sounding like a perfectly fun written one. But I am noticing that most of the themes of all this is, man, the Mandalorian's so awesome. How's his awesome ass going to get out of this? By being awesome again. But I'm sort of fine watching him be awesome, frankly, so I'm totally okay with that.